Hello everybody. This might not be the best sound quality. I've been waiting for my husband to finish cleaning the carpets for like an hour now, and I'm finally ready to go. I don't want to tell him to stop because this doesn't get done very often. But I think he's almost done. So anyway, what I'm going to be working on today is I'm going to be adding some design elements to this unicorn, and I'm going to be decoupaging with some napkins. And be careful when you get these ready to go that you don't take a sneeze or something, because I just blew them all over my desk. There's a couple ways you can work with the napkins. They come in 3-ply, most of them, and you'll want to separate it so you just have the top printed layer. Otherwise you're going to get a lot of wrinkles. You'll get some anyway, but you'll have a lot of extra wrinkles if you don't remove those extra 2-ply. And usually you can just kind of pinch and twist the edges and they'll come apart. I have, on occasion, had to get it a little bit wet and then it would come apart. But once you do that, they usually come right off. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I've always used just a tiny paintbrush and water. But I recently bought these water pens that are for watercoloring, and I thought, well, I should give that a try. And they do work okay, but you have, at least these ones, I have to squeeze constantly. They do control the water flow a little bit better than the paintbrush. But I'm constantly having to squeeze it. Now, this probably isn't a quality brand. I don't remember where or when I got it. I probably, sorry about that, got it on the internet or on the Amazon, but I think they probably came from China, so they're not maybe the best quality, but they work for this pretty good, unless you have problems with, constantly having to squeeze something. So we're going to get started. I've already separated my napkin into one layer, the top layer that's printed. I've already kind of pulled pieces off of that so that I can work with them, because generally, depending on what you're working on, you don't want to just work with a big square of fabric. Or not fabric, I work with fabric too. You want to work with pieces so that you don't have hard edges. So I'm going to round this off a little bit more, and I'm squeezing my pen, and then you can just pull it away and just kind of go around. And if you got enough water in there, it will just pull right off. That one probably didn't have enough water. And I haven't used these pens a lot. Maybe there's a better way to do it, but I haven't found it yet. Like I said, I've only played with them a couple times. So if a paintbrush and a glass of water is easier for you, then by all means, because truthfully I'm probably going to switch to that in just a second, because I forget to squeeze the pen and then I just get a dry brush. And if you get too much water, you might end up ripping away more of your napkin than you want to do. So there's that piece, and that looks pretty good. It's not a hard edge. I've got a little puddle of water back here. Just take some of my scraps and clean that off. I may do that to some more of these. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll do this one real quick, because it is quicker with the paintbrush. Just get it a little wet, and then I take, oh, that's really hard bristles. I must have used those before. So get it wet, and then take most of the water out. And I'm just going to go around this little flower here in the corner. But you see, it lays down a whole lot more water, a lot more quickly than the water brush does. So it's for me anyway. Now, like I said, different water brushes may be a better quality one than what I apparently have. I'm going to keep kicking that, sorry. While I was waiting on him to get done cleaning the carpet, I actually went out and ordered an Archon mount because it took me forever just to get this set up. So you can see it goes pretty quickly with the paintbrush, not as fast with the paint pen or water pen, but you have a little bit less water with the pen than you do with the brush. And I guess you could always just take the brush and kind of tap it off, or kind of run it along a paper towel or something to get rid of some of the excess water. I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to need a brush. Should have grabbed one of my good Decoupage brushes from downstairs, but I didn't think of it. So I just went and grabbed me a little rag to wash off my brush, or just dry it off with, really. So I'm going to start with, I have been using Mod Podge when I decorate cups or other things. But I watched a lady named Eve on YouTube, and she is on Scrapbooking with Me, capital M-E, Crafts. That's for her and her daughter, Eve and Melina. And she does a lot of mini books and mini book pages and mini book inserts and stuff. And I really like her style. I just don't know about making mini books. It looks like a lot of work. But she's the one who suggested Multi-Matte Medium, I believe, which is made by Ranger. And she said it's easier to work with napkins than the Mod Podge, that it's less sticky and it tends to tear less. So I'm going to try it today for the first time and we'll see. And if not, I can always go back to my Mod Podge. But I thought I'd give this a try. Obviously, it's not as big a jar and it's kind of expensive, but if it works better, especially when working with napkins, then it's worth it. And I believe I can just wash this out with water. So we're going to get started. So I'm going to pick a few pieces and figure out where to put them. And I picked blues because that's one of my favorite colors, and I have a lot more napkins in those shades than I do in any of the other color schemes. I have printed on tissue paper before. It's not easy, but it can be done, and you could get whatever designs you want then, because I have purchased a lot of clip art. This is kind of what I'm working with today. And I also have some bejewels that, after it's closer to being done, that I'll put on. These are pretty bright, but I like them, and I like the contrast with the other blues. But I've also got white ones, and those might look pretty on the unicorn. And then I've got different ones. Those are more ivory. I've got some black. Those are very delicate. Those are a little bit bigger in black, but I think they might look good too. Here's clear. I thought this might kind of look good as like a choker piece. I don't know if I can get this in the camera, but like right under on the neck area there, I thought that might be pretty like that, just because of the way it's shaped. And then I've got this multicolored sheet, which I can pull two different shades of, well, actually three different shades of blue on. There's a light, a darker, and a medium. So, but that'll be closer to when I'm finishing up, and this probably will not all happen in one video, just so you know, but you have to let the glue dry, and I've got other things to do. I've got laundry in the dryer and laundry in the washer, and you know, busy, busy, busy. So first what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of place a few of these pieces on here and see if I like them. Now see, I left the edge on that one, and I really shouldn't. I should get rid of that edge. Now if you're going to cover it with a lot of different things, you don't necessarily have to get rid of the edge. I don't plan on covering it with a lot of stuff. Now I might take some inks to it. I haven't decided, and maybe I should do that first. But I'm always kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl, so we will see. I don't even know if this has been spray painted. It's just what do you call it? Can't think of the word. Anyway, it's just, I just got it at, I believe, Michael's, but it could have been Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's or AC Moore before AC Moore closed. It's just, you know, that craft, it's hollow, and my husband painted it for me with, well, that's not going to go back on there now, with a white spray paint, just because it was quicker. Let me grab a couple inks and see if we want to use those. I'm going to get rid of those napkins for now because I don't think we need them. I love the broken china. I just think that if I do these first, the napkins won't show through because they're very thin. But I guess we can try a little spot like on his belly and see. Now I'm going to be doing a giveaway when I get to, we'll say 250 subscribers on YouTube, which is Expressions Craft Studio -- Georgiana Franks. And I've got some of these Alina Craft. They really started out as makeup brushes, I think, but people are using them now for their inks, and they actually work really well. They're a little big, so I have some smaller ones on the way that are shaped differently, but these are kind of nice for, you know, larger areas. And I've just kind of got one dedicated for different colors. I don't have one for every color because they are kind of expensive. But I've got some of these in my giveaway along with some other goodies. So if you will help me get to 250 YouTube subscribers, then we'll be doing a giveaway. And it will be for my YouTube subscribers. I'm also trying to get to 500, which I'm really close to that, on my group page for Expressions Craft Studio. And there will be a giveaway when we do get to 500 on there too. So look out for that. I will set up something. I hope to get a lot more done this weekend because it's a holiday weekend for us, but it didn't happen. You know, chores. They got to get done sooner or later. Okay, I don't hate that. It's a little hard to do with this brush to get in some of these tiny little spaces, but I like the color and it goes on really easily. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and we'll glue some stuff on, and because I don't think this will cover too much, especially if I kind of dab it off on a paper towel first. I'm trying to make sure I'm staying in the screen. But you can see you get quite a bit of ink on there. That's still releasing ink. So, and this is the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Broken China, which is one of my favorite colors of his. I love his kind of antique style, or grunge style, or what's the other word they call it? I can't think of it right now. But I love his style and I love the colors. So we're going to start, since I painted more of that side, we're going to start on this side. And these flowers are a little bit bigger than I would like, but because of the size, I think they'll cover some of these areas kind of nice, like right there maybe. I've got this butterfly here, which might look nice on the hip, like a kind of like a tattoo. And I've got more stuff, but let's just start small. And I don't have a lot of workspace here. I kind of have been reorganizing my craft room, and it hasn't gone quite as fast or as well as I would have liked it. I was doing my card making and this kind of stuff down in a little cubby I have at the other end of the room, but it turned out that it just wasn't big enough and it didn't have good light. This is where I would do my polymer clay, which I haven't done in a while, so I kind of have moved it all down there. I haven't got it put away yet because that's just how I roll. Now, you may have to, when you're going around some of these little spaces, you may have to tear your napkin. You know, obviously it's easier to work on a flat surface, but unicorns aren't flat. So, actually that went down pretty well. I have to say, thank you, Eve. This multimedia mat is much easier to work with than Mod Podge. It looks like it's thicker, but it's definitely not tearing my napkin. I can go back over it without tearing. I should have cut that off a little bit so it wasn't a straight line, but I'll put something over it so you can't tell. So, what do y'all think? That's the first piece down. I kind of like it. Keep it in the camera, George. I don't know if this guy can see it or not. Oh yeah, okay. I'm trying to get two cameras going, you know, because I have to overdo everything. That's just the way I roll. And now I'm trying to see if I'm actually streaming this to my Facebook page, but it doesn't look like I am. So I'll have to figure that out later. But anyway, there's one down. So let's do that butterfly up here. I do have different butterflies. So I've got this, which is two together, which is what I meant to do with that one and messed up. And then I've got this little guy, which is the other part, and I've got this guy. So maybe I should use a different color on this side to kind of break it up a little bit. Let me stand him up so I can see him and see what I think. The table I'm working on is really tall. I don't know what I was thinking when I had this thing put in. You know what? I think I like the darker one. So I'm going to go with this guy. I got ink all over my hand because I didn't let this dry. Let's see where we want him. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to take this rag and just kind of wipe so I don't have this all over me when I'm done. You can see it's not all coming off, but the stuff that wasn't dry mostly did, and actually it made it lighter, so I kind of like it. Okay, so back to me butterfly. So I'm thinking right there. So I'm just going to put some of this matte medium matte, whatever it's called, down, brush it out so I don't have any clumps or streaks, and then come back and lay my butterfly on top. And I don't know if you saw what I did there, but I had laid this on top of this, which is still wet, so that probably was not a good idea, but I got lucky and it didn't stick too much. It didn't rip when I pulled it up anyway, so I'm happy about that. So here we go. Put a little bit more down. I want to make sure he's well glued. Oh, I remember the other thing Eve said about this, and actually that was why I got it, was because she had said that, and she's right, that the Mod Podge can still feel a little sticky sometimes when it's dry, and she said this stuff doesn't. So not only is it a little easier to work with, it doesn't feel tacky when it's dry, and I definitely don't want it to feel tacky, because that's just going to collect dust and stuff over the time, and nobody wants that. So let's see, I've got some other napkins here. What if, wish that was going the other way, maybe, oh, I've got this little rose here. What do we think of that guy? I didn't really get rid of the straight edge on it either. Definitely, I'll just tear it. It's not wet, but it tore well enough. I'm thinking I just lay that right over his little straight edge down here at the end of this stem, to kind of cover up the fact that I didn't tear that off and make it random. I'm not good with random. I'm much better with very linear and straight and things than I am with random. I am working on it, but I have a ways to go. Now I just thought this piece was pretty, just kind of a what do you call, like a paisley kind of design, and it's got a straight edge on it too. Doggone it, I guess I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was. So I'm just going to get this a little wet, try to take off some of that water, and I'm just going to do a little ziggy zig down the edge of that, and then just pull that off of there so it's not straight. So there we go. Now where to put it? Kind of maybe like down through here, or maybe wrap around one of his legs. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. I don't know, I don't want to cover him completely with this stuff, with the napkin, but I do want to get pretty good coverage, so maybe we'll put him down here on the tail. What do you think? Ooh. I don't know. It's a little hard to work with. I've also got this, his mane is pretty flat on this side, flatter on this side than he is on the others, but that might be a good spot for these bigger pieces. I don't know. Kind of want my flowers going up though, not down. So I might have to tear some of that off. Okay. So I'm not sure about that on the tail yet. I don't think I liked it up there on the mane. Like I said, I don't want to cover him completely. I just want to cover him in a few places. Now that kind of wraps around his neck nicely. That butterfly right under his chin or on the front of his neck. So that doesn't suck. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to leave you hanging. I'm still trying to figure out why this isn't showing that it's live in my group here. So, I don't know. I'm probably doing something wrong. Alright, so I think we're going to put this. Let me spin him around again. Spin him right round, baby. Okay, I do have a straight piece there, which I should probably fix. Let's do this. I was doing this late yesterday and I was kind of tired. It was at the end of the day, so I wasn't really planning on doing the video, so it seemed like I was in a good place, but things change. Especially when you don't have a plan to start with, right? So what did I say? I was going to put that up under, because I kind of like that there. I like the way that looks. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to work this area. Just put enough on there to get this to kind of lay down where I want it to lay down. I think I got it too high now. There we go. That's better. That's kind of, it's not centered. There we go. That's a little better. Let me stand it up and see. That'll work. So just glue that down. I'm going to get some wrinkles here because there's a lot of contours right there, but that's okay. I actually don't mind the wrinkles. I think they give some added texture. The very first stainless steel tumbler I did it with these napkins, and I didn't know to separate them, so I did get some wrinkles, which actually didn't turn out too bad. I liked it because it made it a little easier to hang on to the tumbler when it was all done because of the texture on it, but I also just liked the way it looked. So, you know, to each his own. We're all unique. We all like different things, and that's okay. That's what makes the world go round, right? Now I'm probably going to have to come back and put some extra coats on this because I'm not being super careful where I'm putting everything down, and this isn't a brush I've used before for this type of work. I have some that are more straight and stiff that I think work a little bit better, but they were downstairs and I didn't want to have to run down and get them, so I'm sorry, I'm probably not in the camera right there. So let's try flipping that over and see what we get. I'm probably going to have to cut it down here a little bit or tear it just to get it to lay flat. You see it's curling up on me. So you don't usually work with such contoured surfaces, but that's okay. I want it to have texture, and I'm going to get some. A little more paint on my brush there. Paper mache. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. It's a paper mache unicorn. And I've had it for a while now. Maybe a year. I'm pretty sure I got it at Michael's. And it was the only one they had, so they either didn't get very many or they sold out quickly. I don't know which. But I liked it because I've been in love with unicorns since I was a kid, which was a long time ago, by the way. Oh yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I don't know how well you can see it. Let's just make sure all of my edges are down well, nice and good, so I don't want anything peeling up later. And that one actually looked like that needed it. Let's get this. Oh yeah, that needs it. So yeah, I think we're doing. Oh yeah, got a little bit puckered up there. Let's see if I can get get it up under his chin. Just make sure it's laid down nice and good. And this one was coming up a little bit too. I don't remember if I glued him down or not, but let's put a little bit more on there. So that is one side of my unicorn. Uh-oh, I tore my napkin, see? You gotta be careful when it's wet, and I've been jostling this thing all over the place, so that's totally my fault. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good for now. Like I said, I've got to do the other side, but I want to let it dry first and think about my placements a little bit more, where I'd like to see some other things. I'm not going to put a lot of jewels on it. I do have glitter. I could add a little bit of glitter. And maybe for the horn, I haven't decided. I've also got a lot of beads, seed beads that my mom left me. And I could maybe string some and kind of wrap them around the horn so it looks more like a horn and less like a pencil. I thought about putting some of the acrylic rhinestones on his eyes, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because I don't think I'll like the way it looks. I want it to look very abstract. I don't want it to look like it's a unicorn that is running through a field of flowers. Exactly. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, I'm going to call it quits. Oh, just stuck his horn in the glue. I'm going to call it quits for now. I know this is short. I appreciate those of you who've checked in, and look forward to seeing more of you. And hopefully, you know, if you've got some opinions or something you want to see me do differently, let me know. I've still got the whole other side of this guy to do something with. I'll put some more butterflies on there for sure. And flowers and butterflies and dragonflies, that's my jam. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, let me know if you want to see anything, and I appreciate y'all watching. And if you haven't already joined my Facebook group and you like to craft, I do a lot of different crafts. Right now I'm really getting into card making, but I've been paper crafting for over 20 years. I sew, embroider, I work with polymer clay, I draw with this Entangle format. My God, I could go on and on, but I won't. Anyway, if you haven't joined my group, it's Expressions Craft Studio. There's a page and a group. The group has free files on it. Right now I've got some digital wallpapers up. I am going to be putting some free SVGs as well as some sentiment SVGs with the shadow layer around it. I can't think of what they're calling that, but so I'm going to be putting some of those up as well. Just haven't done it yet. There's so much to do. But it's free to join, and I'll be adding new backgrounds that you can print for paper crafting or whatever. You can use them for fabrics if you're into that and you want to like go to Spoonflower or somebody and have them print you some fabric. You're free to use it all you want. I just ask that you don't sell it in any shape or form, but you're free to use. They're free to use. And then there's my YouTube channel, which is Expressions Craft Studio Georgiana Franks. And there's Instagram, which I'm really bad about posting on. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you liked it. Sorry for the rambling. That's just kind of what I do. And I look forward to seeing you when I come back and work on this some more, which I'm babysitting tomorrow and Wednesday. So unless I get some nap time and have some energy during nap time, I won't be back until Thursday. So I will see you then. Until then, take care.